Hello, citizens of YouTube. This is the Geeky Nerd here, and today we're going to be talking about the Griffin Armament SN-ACH and why it has that funny name and what it does differently than other charging handles, and is it possibly the best charging handle for gas busting? We'll find out. Before I begin, though, I'd like to send a big thank you out to everyone who's liked, commented, and subscribed on the previous videos. I always appreciate it and always enjoy talking to you guys. But if you're new here to the channel, welcome. And if you enjoy this video, enjoy this type of content, please consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. Whew, with the PR out the way, let's get into it. So, the SN-ACH, which stands for obviously suppressor normalized ambidextrous charging handle, is a little unique in some aspects. So this is the packaging comes in, and just to get it right out the way, one of the most unique aspects is how it actually vents its gas. So some things like the Radium Raptor, they decide to vent out the top, and other ones have like their own little ingenious methods. But the Griffin here has a port down here that has a 45-degree offset to basically shoot gas out the front. So as something comes back and traverses underneath this charging handle, it's then going to redirect it out the front. Now, this is their Gen 2 variation. They do have a Gen 1 variation. Gen 1 has a little bit different scalloping, a little bit different undercuts, and then the gas port comes out 90 degrees, which is great, but Gen 2 is going to be even better. But looking at it here, you can see, again, there's that little port there. The Gen 2 also has a beefed up I guess say front section where it's gripping on the bulk carrier group, so to prevent that from kind of shearing off, snapping off. There is the top. It's nice to see the G2. It has some very heavy shelving, heavy scalloping around there to again kind of create that seal with your upper and kind of prevent that gas from coming to the face. Charging handle is ambidextrous, so you can see grab it here, cool, grab it here. One thing I have found though, and I don't know if it's just particular to mine, is, and again maybe something about it, right, as you're seeing it here on camera, is that it, as you're engaging this one, right, it's going to flex open both. As you're engaging this one, it doesn't actually move this, but it makes it to where it's free, right? So there really isn't anything to prevent it from pulling open, but it doesn't seem to be actually engaging it. So assume that's part of the design choice. Hopefully not a malfunction or an issue, but just one little thing I've noticed. Otherwise, though, I'm pretty much always grabbing from the left anyway. Looking underneath, can see it is does have the screws to go through. It does have a roll pin. Very beefy spring on the edge. Is exposed. Again, you can see kind of as we go for that opposite side, is just compressing the spring and releasing the pressure from here versus keeping it together. Yeah, and so that is the charging out. Now, this one I have some high hopes for. Of course, I'll have kind of like an actual after action review for it, but this is going up against my current kind of gold standard, right? Which this one here is my PRI M84 gas buster, and this charging handle is the bee's knees. I think it's the best iteration I've ever found. So I do have high hopes for this. Obviously, difference in the grip profile here, right? Have a lot more grip on here. Both wings do kind of flex open, right? Outside just the one. A little bit more of a sleeker design, a little more of a sleeker look, right? Where this, you're not going to mistake it. But similar design aspects here. Again, for the gold standard, I would consider. So you see they both have that beefed up front tang. There's a little bit of a shelved edge, a little bit more scalloping around the PRI here. Just kind of going down. You can actually see on the PRI how much gas it has, you say expelled over the years. It has some redirecting. So with this one here, you see it actually has that shelf. You can actually see where carbon is kind of built up on the edge to where it shoots it out at that 90 degree versus here. It's going to do the same, but instead of allowing it to flow under, it's going to escape and then shoot forward. So hopefully should still achieve the same. On the PRI, it has that deep shelf, same as the SN-ACH here. And as opposed to this one just redirects purposefully out to the right. This one seems to kind of redirect on both edge, but with that 45-degree gas port kind of taking the most brunt of it. The latch section on PRI and on Griffin seems to be very robust. I'll say as far as overall build quality, I will just say, being very critical, the PRI seems to be a bit better, but I am very hopeful for the SN-ACH here because I know Griffin Armament makes some great stuff. And then looking at the underside again, you can see that kind of shelf and just the overall design. So with that, yeah, guys, because it wasn't a direct one-to-one comparison, but this is the standard of which I'm going to compare it against, and hopefully it compares up. But as far as for as you see it, I think it stacks up very nicely. Just pulling out another charging handle I have here, kind of one that is I say mil spec esque, is my Fortis manufacturing one, which is actually going on the one that's replacing the PRI. But anyway, you can see here to where this one would be kind of mil spec. It does not have any of those gas venting features. Does not have any type of shelving, redirecting. The front tang is not beefed up like on the snatch here, so could be prone to shearing. Some of the machining isn't as deeply beveled, right? Isn't as nicely finished overall. The latch isn't as beefy, as you would say. Again, kind of doing like a mil spec to not mil spec. Obviously, this is not mil spec. This is still better than mil spec, but just doing kind of 1-to-1. You know, it obviously not being ambidextrous, but that's kind of showing you where some of the features in the snatch are kind of improving over a mil spec plus, and then where the PRI still potentially holds that gold standard. But be on the lookout on the channel for that kind of comparison between these two. This is actually going on the Honey Badger at Home build series here. So if you stuck around this long, yeah, you see a sneak preview here. So the Honey Badger at Home is what this is going in, and hopefully it lives up to the hype, right? But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful, awesome, fantastic day. And I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.